All right, thank you. We're going to go through HandyBrowser. All right, so if you saw our tutorial about mining at skyinclude.com/mining, you'll see we use this pretty awesome little piece of software that connects the mining to the computer and monitors it for us. The same people that brought that to us are the same people that brought HandyBrowser to us. The handy is the theme here, and this is a dedicated browser for Handshake. And I'll say it's a little bit more advanced, and you're gonna need some space on your hard drive. And we wrote it up in text, and we'll put some screenshots and links on skyinclude.com/handybrowser. But essentially, it's like kind of like much more directly connected to the Handshake blockchain. And you're getting geeky like me. It seems like I'm going in deeper. This might be a better way than just setting a Chrome extension or a browser setting. This is actually like connecting to the node. Or I'll be honest, I'm not totally clear, and they'll probably correct me a lot with this video. But the first step is you'll need to download Docker. If you're not a tech dev person, you probably have never used this. You download it, for it seems like Linux, Mac, or Windows. I've of course downloaded already. I have everything ready to go here. It is this blue little whale, essentially, and then you can see I have the HNSD. I have basically installed or downloaded the node of Handshake. Okay, if that makes any sense, I hope that's clear. But basically, you need this, and this is like what stores the data, I believe, of the Handshake blockchain onto your local computer. Because essentially, that's what it's doing. Is it's referencing the blockchain of Handshake, because that's what Handshake is about, right? It's domains, who owns the domain, and what's the setting of that domain. So now you have this installed on your computer. So once you have this one downloaded, you can do it at the same time. Go here to the GitHub for HandyBrowser, and just like we did in a previous video for mining, you go to the releases to skip all the steps and basically download it for Mac, Windows, or Linux. All right, so Windows, Mac, Linux, download the zip, 150 megabytes, and then that will install. Okay, and now let's go to the HandyBrowser. Well, one tip about Docker, I have a Mac, so it filled up my hard drive pretty hardcore. So there was a setting, I Googled it and I searched it because it was like overloading my computer. And I went to resources and then the disk image size, and you could drag this down or up. But it was like, I think it was like 32 gigs or 64 gigs. I don't know if it was a setting. Maybe they fixed it in the newest releases. But if your hard drive is getting filled up after this, it's because it's kind of like allocating all this space, right? I think that's what Docker does. So you just want to kind of reduce that. But it still took about, you can see it's almost 16 gigabytes. So you need a decent amount of space. And this is HandyBrowser. So just like any browser, but you can just type in NB for name base, right? So, a lot of times you're talking about HNS.2. When we, at least here in 2020, because like Chrome and the other browsers don't have these things, but domain finder, let's see if that works. This is one we've talked about in finding domain opportunities. Hopefully yeah, there you go. See, pretty exciting. Sinpa, that's redirecting. But you can see what it's doing, right? It's actually like connected to the Handshake blockchain. I'll be honest, maybe they can help me, but Sky Include is, I believe, I thought, in the blockchain, but it's saying not there. So I'm trying to learn, but this does work in my extension here. So I don't know what's the difference, because this is NextDNS. I will explain this. We talked about NextDNS previously, but see, it's here. So in NextDNS, it's there, but it's not on the blockchain or the HNS. Again, this is pretty technical, but one I did find that is one of our sites is chatbots with an S. We actually have a singular and a plural. We're going to make some chatbots. But basically, that worked, right? So that's there. essentially, I think this is a quicker video, all right? But essentially, you don't need any extensions or plugins or settings on your browser. This is like a, I guess I'll say native. Again, I might be saying wrong terminology here, but basically, it's a much more direct way to access Handshake domains and the Handshake DNS. But again, you see you have Docker here installed. This has to be running. You know, if you quit this, you need Docker on, right? So it's Docker, and then what it's doing is it's pulling the node from the HNS or the Handshake blockchain, and it's pulling it into this browser. So where's Docker? Oh, well, it's up here. So you could get the basic point here. So it's like the blockchain, right? It's like a huge database publicly. That's what HNS is. That's what Handshake is, right? So while some of us are like me are not so technical, essentially think of it like a huge Google spreadsheet or a huge uh, database that's public, and then using this kind of a browser is connecting directly to that database of the blockchain and all those who owns it and what's the settings and things like that. I hope this makes sense. I might do a follow-up video because I'm trying to figure out how to get some of my TLDs to resolve on this, and I'm not sure what's the difference to make some of those. I think it's basically a DNS setting in blockchain through Namebase, because most of my sites or domains are in Namebase, so I think it's something about Namebase actually sending it to the blockchain rather than maybe it's locally there. I'm just thinking here. Anyway, that's the setup here for HandyBrowser. Thanks for watching.